Hey friends, welcome back to Homeschoolology. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Nikki. I'm a homeschooling mom of 4. I have an upcoming 8th grader, upcoming 4th grader, and an upcoming kindergartner and a preschooler for next year. And today's video, I'm going to be comparing and contrasting History Quest from Pandia Press and Curiosity Chronicles from Rachel Myers. So I've been excited to do this video. I've been waiting and waiting for the Curiosity Chronicles book to come in because I bought everything else digitally, but I've been waiting for the book to come in and it's finally here. I actually got it yesterday, so I haven't even really looked through it myself yet, so we're gonna do this together. I've had History Quest for a little while and I've looked through it a little bit, but what I'm going to do is kind of show you guys side by side. I have both the textbooks and the activity guides or study guides for both of the programs. One of them I've printed off Curiosity Chronicles because, this is, I'm going to have them color their front page of this, so that's why it's blank. But I've printed off the Curiosity Chronicles because that is the one that I've decided to go with. But I think we're still going to use History Quest here and there along the way. So I am going to give you guys, I'm going to turn the camera around and give you guys like a side by side and show you all of the things. So let's dive in. Okay, so here we go. We have Curiosity Chronicles and History Quest. I chose to get the hardcover of Curiosity Chronicles, so it is a hardback. You can get it in paperback as well. History Quest, I think, only comes in paperback, if I remember correctly, so that's what I got here. Comparing the two, History Quest is definitely thicker, and it's, wordier, in my opinion, and Curiosity Chronicles is thinner. So I'm going to give you a look inside each of these. So this is Curiosity Chronicles. And it has your breakdown of the chapters, and in a minute I'm gonna compare the chapters and see kind of how they're similar and how they're different. And this is an introduction to the parent. But as you can see, Curiosity Chronicles is written as like a conversation between two characters here. This is Ted and this is Mona, and they are having a conversation. The whole thing is just dialogue between the two characters. So the information is given that way. But then we also have things in here like timelines and pictures and diagrams. I'm not going to flip through the whole thing, but I'm just going to kind of show you that it is colorful. There is lots of things in here. And it just seems really, really engaging to look at. Versus History Quest is pretty much just text. There are some pictures along the way that are kind of like drawn pictures. And I think there's timelines at the beginning of each chapter. So, but this is definitely all in black and white. There's no color here. And that's how that is. So what I do plan on using are these history hops. So I think that's what I might only use that. I might use more of that. We might listen to the chapters from this book while we're doing activities that go along with this, or I'm not really sure yet. I haven't hashed it all yet, but these history hops seem really, really fun and engaging because they're about like people who have to do with that time. So I think that would be really exciting for my kiddos. So that is the difference between two of these. So this is written in dialogue format. This is written in story format. And so that is a look inside there. So what I'm going to do now is open it up to the table of contents, and we'll compare and contrast the table of contents a little bit here. Okay, so Curiosity Chronicles is 36 chapters, and History Quest is 26 chapters with a conclusion. Each chapter you can see here has a history hop that goes along with it. And then we start at, this one gives you kind of like an introduction to history, and then you start talking about hunters and gatherers, and then move into Mesopotamia, and then into Egypt. And here you talk about Paleolithic times, Neolithic times, and then the birth of civilization, which I'm assuming So you're going to get to Egypt around chapter 5. And then kind of just goes along the Babylonians, Assyrians. This one's Babylonians, Assyrians. So this one I feel like is very like what you normally think of when you think of history, like the progression that it goes through. This one kind of jumps around a little bit more. And so yes, that's a comparison. Like I said, I just got this in, so I haven't had a chance to like really dive deep into these, but that is a look at the table of contents of both of these. So, like I said, I have printed off the student materials for Curiosity Chronicles because I am liking those much, much more than what I've seen with History Quest. But I am going to give you a look at History Quest in a minute on the computer. But here is what the student guide looks like for Curiosity Chronicles. So you have worksheets like this, which this is a vocabulary matching worksheet. And then other little activities for that. You also have mapping and coloring pages are in here as well. And then you have worksheets for activities like that you're asked to create a family tree and do an archaeological dig, and then it moves on into the next chapter and just continues on. I'm going to try to show you. So here's like a coloring sheet that they can color while you're reading the information. So that is what this looks like, and I just liked that it was like almost like a workbook to accompany it. And then this is, so I have 2 kids, so it's gonna have double sheets as I flip through, so just bear with me on that. But this is the notebooking packet that came along with it, and this is something that I was really, really excited about because this is something that my kids really enjoy doing. So it does have something, not for every single chapter, but, or well, I guess it is every single chapter because there's page 2 of that. So you've got materials for each chapter. This is meant to be cut out and put into their notebook, and then here is a cover for their notebook. And then it gives you all the little pieces you need to create either a lap book or a notebook. And she does give you very specific details on how to do one versus the other, but it basically uses the same materials for the most part. So I chose to print the one that has everything written out, so they're just going to cut and paste because I have kids who don't really like writing, and so I felt like that was the best option for us. But you go along, there is a little bit of color in here, but most of it is so that they can color it themselves. So that is this is what I was really excited about. And History Quest does not have something comparable to this, so, which you might be able to use this with History Quest if you like that style, but I'm not really sure. I'll let you guys know as we start using it. So that is what the Curiosity Chronicles like study guide stuff is like. So I'm going to switch over to the computer and show you guys what the History Quest looks like. So this is the History Quest study guide for the students. You're supposed to do this travel log for each chapter, and it has a place where you can mark on the timeline and then maybe draw something about it. And then it also has a sheet here to the left that is like what I saw, what I read, what I learned. And then they have different pictures and different mapping activities in there, and that's pretty much it. So this is a look at the History Quest study guide. So it is, let's see, here's the table of contents. It is very similar to what the other one is. I feel like they're pretty similar, but this is to the educator. Let's skip down to a lesson. So here it does have a master list of materials that you would need, so that's nice to have. But here is the introduction. What is history? So it tells you what resources you are going to need. So it does ask you to have the Usborne Encyclopedia of World History, and then the history notebook cover page. So you are going to create a notebook here, but it's not like the little foldables and flip tabs and stuff like that it's more like the workbook from Curiosity Chronicles. But what I do like is that it includes this enrichment reading. I'm going to pull up, I can't find my teacher's guide that I printed out for Curiosity Chronicles, so I am going to pull that up for you guys in a minute to show you that it does have some enrichment readings as well. Actually, that's nice to have if you want to expand on what you're reading and then you have time to do so. So let's go down to the next page. What I do like is that it gives you like a unit schedule here. I'll show you in the teacher guide of Curiosity Chronicles that it does have something similar, but it's not quite as organized as this one is. But what I do like about Curiosity Chronicles is that it gives you multiple options for different, like this is obviously a 5-day-a-week program. I might not want to do this 5 days. In fact, I'm sure we wouldn't do something 5 days a week. So, let's see what else here. We have day 1, discovery. You're going to look through the pages. Explore, you're going to look through all the additional resources. Day 3, you're going to do your notebooking, which you could obviously do this in one day if you wanted to, but it does give you copy work if you are somebody who enjoys doing copy work, and then it does give you enrichment activities, which you can choose to do as you will. And then you have unit notes here, like a page where you can write things in if you're printing it out and writing it. And then it moves on into the next unit. I do like the way that this is laid out. It's not that it's bad. It's not that I don't like it. It's not that it's not helpful. It's just I like Curiosity Chronicles just a little bit better. So I'm going to jump over and show you guys that one now. So this is the instructor's guide for Curiosity Chronicles. It does have your table of contents like the other one and an introduction like the other one. It does, and both of them include like general book recommendations to use like across the whole thing. But this is what I was talking about right here, where it says if you want to do one short session, here's the things that you would do. If you want to do one longer session, and then, or I guess this is, so like every 3 weeks. So we do a short session every week and go through it a little bit slower. Or this page here shows you a long session per week, and then 4 short sessions or 5 short sessions. So I love that it gives you like options rather than just like the one layout in the history quest. So that is nice to have. And then it jumps into the chapter here. So I love that it includes comprehension questions for you. It does have vocabulary words right here. There is a timeline that comes with it if you buy the bundle, or you can buy the timeline separately. So it tells you what to do for that. It has map work. Then it has reading suggestions, just like the history quest did. It has reading suggestions as well. And then these are your reference guides that it suggests at the beginning of the book to have along the way. It does say like use this one for older kids and this one for younger kids, which I think is really great if you're trying to do this as a family style. And then it jumps into the hands-on activities, and that's the family tree and the dig that we talked about. So what I want to show you, let me see if I can find what I'm trying to show you. Okay, right here. This right here, Minecraft activities, is why I think we are going to go with this one. In addition to, this is why my kids want to do this one, because they love Minecraft, and the thought of having Minecraft activities to go along with this, they were stoked about. So while I like the layout of this one better, anyways, this one, the Minecraft was the deal breaker. Like the kids were like, yep, that's the one that we want to do. So it's not in every chapter, but a lot of chapters have a Minecraft activity that goes along with what you are learning about. It has them build different kinds of things along the way. So that was a huge selling point for my kiddos and something they were really excited about. Like I said, with Curiosity Chronicles, we got the instructor guide, the student notebook, the lap booking, and the timeline. The timeline came with like the bundle that I bought. I had to add on the lap booking, but it wasn't very expensive. But the book as well came along with that. And so that is like a lot of pieces, a lot of resources. Obviously, we are not going to use every single resource, but we may, I don't know. But it just seems like to hit so many different learning styles, which I really, really, really like. The history quest is great too, and I feel like it's very straightforward, very like to the point. This is what you can do. This is gonna work. So I do like it. It does have the notebooking as component as well. But I just feel like it's not as engaging as like the notebooking from Curiosity Chronicles. And I really like that Curiosity Chronicles has kind of that like workbook as well. So that is kind of a look at both of them side by side. They do both offer very good samples on their websites. So they do have samples of the audiobooks on, both of them have that. Both of them have samples of the book. Both of them have samples of the teacher guides. So if you really want to take a look at this, like dive deep into it yourself, I highly suggest taking a look at those samples because they are really, really good. It's enough to get an idea of what the schedule is, like what the layout is like. So check those out for sure. I'll link both of their channel or both of their websites down below for you, where you can find those samples. And I think either one could be a really great option. Just kind of what are you looking for? To me, Curiosity Chronicles is a little bit more like engaging, like with the different approaches. Like there's so many different approaches to learning the subject, where History Quest is kind of a little bit more like, I mean, they do have notebooking and they do have hands-on activities and they do have things like that. But to me, it just doesn't, I guess maybe there's just not as many options as Curiosity Chronicles provides. And then that Minecraft those Minecraft activities, that's just really, really cool and something really neat. I obviously have not spent a ton of time listening. I've only listened to the samples of the audiobooks. Some people say that the Curiosity Chronicles audiobook is kind of hard, or like not great. But then people also say that the History Quest one is not great. So I think it's just going to be like, you need to go, you need to listen to them, you need to see what's going to fit for your family and your style and your homeschool, and see how those things are going to go for you specifically. And so, yeah, we are going to be using Curiosity Chronicles. I just feel like it's the right fit for our homeschool. But I had said, like, whichever one I'm not going to use, I'm going to sell. And I don't think I'm going to. I think I'm just going to keep them both and use the History Quest, History Hops for sure. And then we might also listen to the book if it lines up well, or we'll see, because I have it all. And so that is kind of my plan moving forward. And I hope this was helpful to you guys. If you have any questions about either of these, I will try to answer them for you down in the comments. While you are down there, I hope you would subscribe to this channel, ring that notification bell, and give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget, you can always follow me over on Instagram at Homeschoolology. And what are you guys using for history next year? Are you going to use one of these two, or did you find something else that you are going to be using? If you haven't heard me talk about it, we are going to be using Curiosity Chronicles in conjunction with Big History Project and Build Your Library's History of Science, to make one big like history of science and the world unit that's probably going to run over 2 years. Like, I'm hoping to get through ancient history and maybe start medieval by the end of this coming year. And then finish out medieval and do modern history over the next year. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes, because it is ambitious. It is a lot of things. And I do have a video that is coming up on that when I'm still working on, now that I've got the Curiosity Chronicles book, I can really dive deep into getting it all structured and set up. And I will update you guys when I have that ready. So that is it for me today. I hope you will come back and chat with me again real soon, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.